Hey guys, it's Z and Charles, and we have a topic that's something that we've been talking about quite a bit, and
Mhm.
it's not our house, and
Shocker.
it's not our kids. It's AI, which we're not a techie channel, but we got talking about this because the other day we were making a doctor's appointment, or Z was making a doctor's appointment.
Oh, yeah. I called their office the first time around and I got an actual person and I was seeing patients. I couldn't stay on the phone with them, and so I asked for them to give me a call back. And of course, I get it. Offices are busy. I never got a call back. I tried calling back again and I was just on the phone, right? It just went to a voice message. Few weeks later, I was like, I really want to get in with this particular doctor. And I pick up and I'm like, wait, this voice sounds a little too, doesn't sound exactly like a robot, but it doesn't quite sound human. And I realized it was like an AI voice communication that was engaging with me. And I must say, it made the process pretty streamlined. It took my insurance information, verified my address. I didn't have to wait in the phone for a long time. And it was actually better or more efficient as far as me scheduling than my experience with an actual representative or office person, with that particular physicians group. So it got us talking a little bit about artificial intelligence. And there are some cons, but in this particular instance, I'm like, I can see the benefit of artificial intelligence, right? As far as a consumer or a client, you have less wait times, right? Um, you know, Efficiency sometimes is a little bit better. And I also was thinking about artificial intelligence from the standpoint of my patients, right? So, for those of you that don't know, I'm a family physician. And so I see patients dealing with various things, right? And I've had a lot of patients as of late, or not a lot, maybe a handful of patients coming in for high blood pressure in relation to anxiety, stress, and a lot of it centers around their work. And when I'm asking them, like, what's going on work wise, a lot of them feel threatened with artificial intelligence, with AI that's going to come for their job, right? And it's a real thing, right? Lots of jobs out here. If you go to the grocery store, well, I don't know if that's really AI as far as the grocery store, but a lot of call centers are using artificial intelligence. Um, you know, they talk about certain physicians in healthcare, maybe radiologists in the future, very far future, by their job might be in jeopardy with the use of artificial intelligence. So it definitely is a real thing as far as threatening the livelihood, I think, of individuals. But I think I was telling Charles, I can really see pros and cons to it at the same time. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions about AI.
Start
So,
with the pros. Are there any pros or benefits that you can see, if
well,
any?
sure. So for the consumer, there are a lot of benefits. As you pointed out, AI generally doesn't make mistakes. Now, AI, when it's being tested, when it's being trained, it makes mistakes. It can hallucinate. It can do all sorts of things. It makes mistakes if it hasn't been finalized into a finished product. But once it's in a finished product, kind of like the customer service AI that you dealt with, it's generally not going to make mistakes. And so for a consumer, there's certainly benefits to AI in that you're not going to have to deal with people not calling you back. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to have to deal with people getting the wrong information. You're not going to have to deal with people just deciding they're not going to follow through
Mm-hmm.
on whatever it is. The various the various shortcomings of humans
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with. And also there's no issue with staffing, right? So if you have an AI system answering phones, that system's not going to be hungover and not come into work. It's if you have one system, you don't need to, if you get 1,000 calls or if you get 10 calls, it doesn't really matter. It's going to answer all of them, right? So you don't really have those issues. So from a consumer standpoint, the person who is using the service, there certainly is a lot of benefit to AI.
Right. Okay. But then to you, there's a lot of cons to it, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I work in software, and with our developers, we're moving from a model where, like, let's say that there used to be 10 developers, now there's 2 developers, and AI is taking the place of the rest. And so people in that particular situation are moving from, from a, like, they don't do coding anymore. They tell AI to code, and then they proof the code. So they're really moving into more of an architecture management type role. So I have a big problem with AI when it's used to displace people. Because to me, if we look at humanity and what's really the purpose of technology, technology is supposed to be used to enhance our lives, right? And it's certainly not enhancing the lives of the 8 developers who no longer have a job. I saw an interview the other day with a personality, a venture capitalist or something like that, and he was saying that by 2030 there's going to be 1/3 less white collar jobs, and so you have AI moving in and taking the jobs that we used to think were the good jobs, right? Like the jobs that people go to college to get.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like Z mentioned, even radiologists, the people who read the X-rays. Well, that's just pattern recognition. And, a computer is way better at doing that than a person is.
It's more that goes into being a radiologist,
Right.
but yes.
And so yeah, but the question is, as a society, to what extent are we willing to allow technology to displace people to where, we're going to take their jobs? So, things will be better for the consumers who still have money to spend to consume, but then there isn't the opportunity for so many people to get jobs to actually make the money. And it was interesting. I was having a conversation about this with some family members a while back, and they were all excited because their insurance company was using AI to do telehealth or something like that. And I said, well, you know what this means, right? This means that your grandkids may not have the opportunity to become doctors and to, improve themselves, to move up in society, because there's now going to be a computer doing that job that otherwise you would need a physician to do. And so as a society, how much are we willing to allow technology to take things away from people? And my personal opinion is that there needs to be some international law that says that AI can only be used to the extent that it's not displacing a person. So, and this is the example that I always give. I know I'm just running on and on, but this is something that I think about a lot. If AI could be used to simulate some kind of trial for developing a drug to cure cancer, something that it would take us thousands of years to do if left to our own devices, that's a good use for AI. that's something that would help people. But to the extent that AI is taking a job away from somebody who would otherwise be answering phones and scheduling your appointment with your doctor, to me, that's a bad use of AI.
And to counter that, though, I think it would have to be disruptive to the greater good for it to not exist. Does that make sense? By that I mean there's certain jobs that humans are doing, that we occupy, right? But it's not efficient, right? And with the use of artificial intelligence, it makes it more efficient, more streamlined. And if it has more good to it, affect a larger amount, I may be okay with having artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence is going to exist whether you like it or not. I just think it needs to be regulated. I don't know if I necessarily agree that it can't displace any human job, because some human jobs are just not efficient. And for the greater good, I can see where it would be beneficial for artificial intelligence to be used in place of those humans. Granted, yes, someone's being affected by it, right? I get that. I'm just saying it depends on the context for me, because I definitely see a place for it. It just has to be for the greater good and not just for a financial profit. Right.
But that's how it's going to be used. To me, the effect of AI is going to be destroying the middle class, because if AI runs its course and it's doing all the jobs, then what you're really going to be left with is you're going to be left with the people on the top, who are the ones who own the technology, and then the people on the bottom, who are the people who don't own the technology, and who are basically dependent on the people who own the technology. And now, currently, you can go to school to become a doctor. You can go to school to become an attorney, and you can achieve social mobility. You can't go to school to be Elon Musk. You can't go to school to be Mark Zuckerberg or one of these people that owns the technology. So to me, AI is going to have the effect of taking away opportunities for people.
It will take away some opportunities for people, but can you see where it may make opportunities for people in some form?
Oh, sure. There's going to be opportunities for some people in terms of like training businesses how to use AI.
And a lot of people I hear now are going to school to learn, I don't know, the coding. I don't really know all that's involved with it, with working with it. But a lot of people are going to school for that. They're even merging it a little bit with medical schools, is what I've heard from a few of my patients also. So there may be a lane too where it's able to create some jobs. Now, will it create as much jobs as it takes away? That I don't know. But I do think there is a place for it. It just has to be regulated, and there has to be some checks and balances to it, right? Any new technology, I feel like people try to profit off of it. So that's not new, right? And they're doing the same thing with the artificial intelligence. I just think it needs to definitely be regulated. Because in my experience with that office, I'm not gonna lie, keep all the artificial intelligence there, because it was just a little all over the place.
It was lacking regular intelligence.
Correct. And Kelly, whatever the name of my little AI bot thing was fabulous. Okay.
So those are our thoughts about AI. We want to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments below. Let us know. What do you think? I guess we kind of had differing opinions on that, but so let us know your thoughts about AI and its role in society.
Correct. Have you guys thought about it? Has it affected you or your loved ones in any way? Just something to get your mind going. Anyway, remember to like and subscribe down below. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.